And we're back with season 3 of the Alite Show with John Alite. I'm Kevin Donaldson, and we're here with my very new friend, Kim DePaola, or Kim D, as you know her from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, you're welcome.
And my friend for a lot of years now.
Many years.
You did the cameo.
Yeah, I did the cameo. We were always out.
Always.
Yeah.
He filmed with me a few times. We had a good time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised my wife hasn't seen it. She watches that show incessantly.
It was like maybe the 3rd season, 4th season. He came to the Teresa's Fabellini launch. Remember that?
Yeah.
And at that time, Joe Gorga and I were going at it a little bit. So in between filming, John goes, "See this girl? You need to respect her." Joe's like, "Okay." Yeah, it was really good. And he said it very nice, like a gentleman. But, you know, when John says it, you listen.
It's usually when John speaks up in a nice, calm voice. It's
calm.
time. It's time to calm down.
It was good.
Did you grow up around here?
I grew up in Elmwood Park, which was East Patterson when I first moved there. And, you know, I loved it. It was a fabulous place to grow up. I left high school. And then my parents moved to Franklin Lakes. So I was from Elmwood Park and Franklin Lakes.
So you were a Franklin Lakes girl.
Franklin Lakes, you know, when I graduated high school.
Okay.
So high school, Elmwood Park, which was East Patterson. So I get my kind of toughness from there. And then we moved to Franklin Lakes.
But you're very outspoken. I know you were very outspoken on the show.
Yes.
And was that always the way, or is that something that you developed over time?
I think from the day I was born, I was just outspoken. And when I was in 2nd grade, the nun says she's an article. I still don't know what that means, an article. But kind of like, I kind of know that I'm different, you know, because nothing scares me. I say whatever I want. And I think that's why when they said, you know, how did you get on this show with these girls? I said, well, you know, I'm writing a book now. I said, wait till my book comes out. You'll understand. I'm not afraid of any of these New Jersey housewives. So I kind of went toe-to-toe with some of them, but I'm still friends with a lot of them, you know.
Yeah, well, we got to get you back on the show again because I watched it because of you, and so did a lot of my friends.
That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
Well, they want that drama. I mean, that's what the show's all about, is creating, is drama.
And now it was truth back then. Like, you know how they're saying now everything's scripted? When I was on, it wasn't scripted. But they would tap you on the shoulder if things weren't going their way, the producers, and say, well, can you at least say this or can you do that? Some of the things I would do and some of them I wouldn't, you know. So I wasn't kind of a team player, but, you know, I was careful.
I'm pretty sure that they like that stuff. You know, they want that stuff, and I'm sure it's somewhat manufactured behind the scenes. They're like, okay, we know these two don't like each other. Let's send them out to dinner.
Well, and they also would give you like gossip first night of filming, and they tapped me on the shoulder. They said, "Can you just say that Perez Hilton said that Joe Giudice is cheating?" I'm like, "No, I can't say." Well, you just signed a contract, so you have to say something. So I pulled all the girls up. I go, "Come on, let's have a drink at the bar," and I just said, "Geez, Teresa, you have problems with your husband? You look like you're getting along good." She's like, "No, why?" And I said, "Well, Perez Hilton said that, you know, you guys are having marital troubles." They were not happy with that. Yeah. They wanted me to say that he was cheating. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. It's crazy.
From what I understand, Perez Hilton wasn't far off with that.
He was right on. He was right on the money. And it all comes out later, but at that time, I was friends with Teresa. So, you know, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
later on, I did it.
You had a good relationship with Teresa because there was times we were out. She was very pleasant.
Yes, she was.
And actually, one of her brother-in-laws was Albanian. You remember?
That's
was
right.
speaking
Oh my
to him?
God, it was.
He was a very nice guy. Actually.
It was Joe Giudice's sister's husband.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
we were talking. He's a nice guy, not because he's Albanian people out there, but he was really a nice guy,
that's
gentleman.
True. That's true. Yeah.
How do you get involved in this stuff?
Well, I had my own store, Posh. Right, it was a small 500 square foot store. And Danielle Staub walked into the store. It was their first season, 6 episodes.
Danielle Staub was in the first season, and she
first
left,
couple.
right?
First couple. Yeah. But that was the table flip, the first season, which was 6 episodes. And then they just, you know, liked my store. The girls start shopping, and I get on the show. That's just like that, because they all shopped at my store.
They come to you and ask you, here's your contract.
Well, I went to a backyard sheriff's department. They had my boyfriend at the time at a table. And they noticed me from filming with Danielle, like, because they had to do their opening scenes. And I went with Danielle. So they noticed me. They're like, "No one's talking to Danielle. Would you film?" I'm like, "Yeah." We're all drinking, having a good time. And that's how I got on. I signed, and then they followed me around. They came to my store. And, you know, it was a great thing for me because I had Posh, you know, so it was good for the store.
And your store is across the street from my other friend who's Albanian.
Yeah, and I just closed that one, but that was a great store.
That was a great store.
I moved it.
But you could also actually, and I never really thought about this, I think I might have mentioned to you once about a year ago. You could actually did Mob Wives too because you had some connections and friends
Definitely had connections.
in
Let
that
me tell
world.
you something. Those girls are tough. You know, New Jersey girls are tough, but those girls, Mob Wives, I'm not playing. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not playing. I might be able to film with them, but I'm not fighting with them. You know, they're a little scary.
But so you have some sort of connection. You could have filmed Mob Wives. Do you want to go into that?
Well, I mean, my book that I'm writing is called My Life with the Big Boys. So, you know, I go way back.
So you're going to tease this one.
We're going to tease it.
You're going to tease it.
I go back to, you know, my stepfather who was involved. Okay, made guy. Then I married into it, you know, of course, my son's father. So, you know, I went to the Copacabana when I was 6 years old. We were one of the ones they put the table in the front for. So, you know, I've been around this all my life. So filming with them, you know, it was nothing compared to what I saw and what I did, you know. So
what I know about those women, the women who married those top level gangsters,
right.
They're some tough women because they get put through hell.
They're really tough and they're scary. I'm friends with Renee, you know, I'm friends with her sister. But a couple of them, I was like, whoa, you know. I mean, they beat the crap out. I don't want to get hit. You know what I mean? I'll go toe to toe, but I'm like, who wants to get in a fist fight at this age? You know? But they're crazy. I used to watch it and say, I can't believe these girls. They just go at it. You know, they're crazy. And also Karen Gravano, love her, love Karen. You know, she's a good girl. So.
You're friends with a Gravano, right?
Well, I actually like Karen. I'm friendly with Karen.
Love Karen.
And Karen had in common with us through us. Well, originally through you, actually. You're the first person that had Doug Anton as an attorney.
Correct.
You gave him to me, and then I introduced him to Karen and Sammy.
And that's
and
right.
Right
Doug.
now, I'm not too happy with Sammy. Everybody knows that.
Really? So I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So
we're trying to get him in
into
here
that.
for a sit down. Is what we're trying to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, but Karen, I always liked. I don't have any.
Karen's a sweetheart.
And I feel bad because it is a father, and you know, he took the liberty, stepped out of line a little bit, and I don't really give a fuck what position he had back then or today or what he's doing today. He has no position today, but since he opened his mouth, you know,
you got to do it, John. You got to do what you
got to do.
followed
away and kicked him back in the ass is really what happened. So
when that happens, can you just make sure that I'm nowhere near you?
yeah.
I don't mind being around. I'm good.
He's all talk, honestly.
Well, he's like 2'7".
Yeah,
so
he's all talk even when he was active on it. Yeah, and that's the thing I call him out on. And he can never sit there and say anything different because I know the numbers. I know what he actually did, and it's not much.
John,
but getting back to so he's saying that Sammy is a fake gangster. Is that the right term?
Yeah, listen, he has a title. Everybody knows you had the title, but that title don't mean anything to me like anything else. You're a guy with a title who really don't deserve it.
Right.
And you know, that happens in life, in any business.
In any business.
Yeah. Well, so you have the mystique of John's old life and the mystique of Real Housewives in New Jersey.
Right.
The drama that you see on the show, you said it's pretty real.
Well, when I was on, it was very real.
Now, how much of that carried on? Like, if somebody says something to me that's unforgivable, I'm just not going to talk to them. But you're obligated to talk to them. You have to sit
You kind of have to. And what they do like is they like to create conflict, and then they want you to make up. Okay. So with Teresa and I, like when Melissa, her sister-in-law, comes on, I'm Teresa's girl. So Teresa was flipping out because they came on, Kathy and her, Melissa, behind Teresa's back. Teresa didn't know that they signed until she had to film the christening the next day, her brother's son's christening. So that night, I'm on the phone with her, and she's like, I'm not going to sign the contract. I can't believe they come on. I go, listen, this is a lot of money. Are you crazy to have a camera follow you around? She signs the contract. The next day, they go in, and there's a war. I mean, they ripped the place apart. I don't know if you've ever seen that episode, but it's the day of the christening. They're fist fighting. He's calling his sister garbage. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't believe. But you know, they've since a fake makeup. I don't believe that they're made up.
That's what I was trying to get to.
It's a fake makeup. I think they made this deal. The parents were alive, and I think they were embarrassed. You know, they're airing their family laundry, and I think they made a pact, and that's I think one of the reasons why I got off the show one of the seasons, because she made a pact, and instead of coming to me like a woman, which John knows the kind of person I am, all she had to say to me was, listen, I don't want to fight with my family anymore. Now, who do you want to fight with? That's it. But instead, she's the type of person that goes behind your back. Of course, I found out from the producers, and I was off the show for one season. Then, of course, they brought me back, and I go, this is the game you want to play. Now I was against Teresa. And that's when when the rumors came out about Joe, and I went with it. Like everybody knows it's true.
When you first were asked to leave the season, or they just didn't renew the contract?
They just didn't renew it. But I knew why. The producers told me. Like Teresa was like, "Oh, she don't need Kim D this season." I'm like, "Okay, that sounds good." But then they needed me the next season because now they know there's a problem, and they know I know everything. They know I know all the truth. They know I've been friends with her. So the first time filming on my fashion show, I'm like, "Is she delusional? Does she come from a different planet?" Because there's not like they're going, "What are you talking about? The brunette?" I'm like, the blonde, the brunette. There's a lot of them, and that's when the whole relationship flipped.
It's a crazy life that they lead.
It
I don't know how you do that because you put your in one aspect you're branding yourself.
Because I had a store to promote.
Well, yeah, she had and your store was really a nice store.
International.
And you had girls like Tia that was always in there with her friends. And have you seen Tia, by the way?
Yes,
recently?
I see.
Is she okay?
She's okay. Yeah. She's okay. She's doing good.
I like Tia. I mean, listen, and I liked her boyfriend Frankie a lot. Obviously, we're friends for 30 years.
Listen, she is a character.
Her ex-boyfriend,
She is a character. And I liked Frank, too.
Yeah.
I liked Frank, too. That's how we got introduced. Tia, right? She asked you to bring me to one of her parties.
Yeah, yeah.
And we went together.
Yeah, that's how you met her,
right?
Yeah.
How comfortable were you putting your life out there? Your life is out there now.
Yeah, I know, but nobody knows anything about me.
Think
about it.
I mean, people recognize you from the show, so you walk into a bathroom, you just get done doing whatever you're doing in there, and somebody's ready to shake your hand. I've seen this with him. I've seen this with John. It's hard to go out to eat with John because people are coming up and asking him, they recognize him, they do this stuff. Yeah. All we're trying to do is sit down and have a meal.
Yeah, and they'll come in right when you're having like a bite of your food.
Right.
I don't mind it. I'm very humbled by that. But like I said, if they don't see me from the front, they notice my voice. I have a distinctive.
We both have that.
We have a distinctive voice, and I have a New York, New Jersey accent, and I was raised in Boston, New Jersey, New York. So it's a combination, and they're like, "That's Kim D," and it's fine if they ask for 1 or 2 pictures. But I was just telling you on the way over, I'll be by a pool. I was in Borgata, the water side. Or whatever it's called, water club.
The water club.
The water club. And these girls are asking for like one, "Oh, I don't like the way I look. Can I have another one?" I'm like, "How many pictures am I going to take?" Yeah. That's when you get annoyed.
I got some pictures with us actually at the pool, I think at the Borgata.
Right. At the Borgata. Yeah. And then we took some over. Remember when we were at the hotel?
Yeah.
What was it
What's
called?
the name of that hotel?
Oh my God.
That was a nice spot too,
That was a nice spot. We had a good time that day.
Yeah.
Can't think of the name of the hotel. It'll come to us.
Yeah.
It'll come to us.
No,
but people will bother you. But I don't mind as long as they're respectful.
Yeah.
But when they start like, "I don't look good in this," I'm like,
Yeah, right.
Right, John? It's like unbelievable.
Well, people have a tough time separating reality from the show.
Correct.
All right. I see this again to make this comparison with John. I see people mistake John's persona versus John Alite, the John Alite that I know.
Right.
Who likes to have fun. I'm sorry, bro. I'm going to ruin I'm going to ruin it. He likes to have fun. He likes to
tell him yesterday what happened. I got you for $20.
Dude.
Yeah, this was a good story. Tell the story.
He challenged me I wouldn't go over to a table and take pizza off the
There was a whole bunch of pretty girls.
Wait. Let me back up.
There was a whole bunch of pretty girls.
Let me back up. So there's a table full of women, and I sit, and the women are all looking at him because I'm dressed in whatever I left here.
Movie star looks. Let's face it.
They're all looking.
I'm going to tell you a funny story about Teresa and him when you're done. Go ahead.
And I noticed they're looking at him as we're walking out. He's looking back. I said, "I'll tell you what. There's a $20 bill in my wallet right now. If you just walk up there and take a slice of pizza," and he just goes over there and walks up to him. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Fuck! I just lost $20. I just lost $20." And he goes over there, takes it, and does the smoothest move I've ever seen a guy do. Takes my $20 and throws it on the table and says, "Here, give that to the waitress."
That's John. That's John. That's John. I love it.
Come on.
So now, the first time, I don't know if John is going to remember this, we're in New York, and Teresa and I did New York Fashion Week. And I had Cuffs by Kim D, and Teresa had the Fabellini. So John comes there with, now I forget who you came there with. I don't know if it was your son. I don't remember. But listen, so you walk in because Jonathan and Felice told you, "I want you to meet my friend Kim D," was in New York. And Teresa sees John, and I swear to God, her knees buckled. She goes, "Oh my God, who is that?" And he goes, "Oh, I am John Alite, this and that, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." That's the first time we met. Yeah. But I don't remember who you came there with. I think it was with a friend, and it was in New York. I have pictures with you, me and Teresa, which I'm going to give to them to pose. Okay. But Teresa's knees buckled. She goes, "Oh my God, who is that?" Yeah. So
I know we were in STK a couple of times with Teresa, yourself, myself.
We went to STK after.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember.
We went to
that
STK. You invited us to STK.
Yeah.
And we went to STK, but that was the first time I met him.
He's a charmer.
He was a charmer. But he
charmer.
didn't have to open up his mouth. He walked in and she was like, whoa. It was really cute.
You're right up. You're right in her wheelhouse, brother.
Oh, yeah.
It's
So she wishes.
You know, when I was a kid, the staple for me was to come downstairs, pour myself a bowl of cereal, put that cereal box right in front of me, and read the box. And it was great. I did it every single morning. As I got older, I realized all the garbage that was in those cereals, the sugar, the chemicals. I didn't want to take away that staple to my children, so I had to seek out healthy alternatives, and Magic Spoon answered that.
Well, I had a similar experience because of my father. He always wanted us eating healthy with vitamins and working out. And when Magic Spoon stepped in, it's tasty and it's very healthy for you. There's no sugars and it's low calorie and it's everything I'm looking for a healthy cereal for me and my family.
Well, you know, a lot of people like to cut carbs these days, and Magic Spoon has one of the lowest carb counts around.
Magic Spoon, 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Only 140 calories per serving. They're also keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb.
You know, Magic Spoon now has cereal bars. They're delicious, healthy cereal turned into a crunchy on-the-go snack. Similar in nutritional value to a protein bar, just 100 times more fun and enjoyable. Available flavors include cookies and cream, cocoa, and peanut butter. Every bar has 10 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and 4 net carbs. Magic Spoon cereal bars are available at magicspoon.com starting February 24th until supplies last. The price is $39 for a 6-pack. That's not bad. 16 bars included in there, which comes out to $2.43 per bar.
Magic Spoon is so excited to announce the launch of their limited edition cereal bars. So in addition to your cereal boxes, be sure to grab some cereal bars while supplies last, and be sure to use my code Alite for $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it backed it with 100% happiness guaranteed. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. So click the link below and use the code Alite for $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/Alite to try out their delicious new cereal bars while supplies last. Also, for my Canadian and British fans, Magic Spoon is shipping to Canada and the UK.
But there's got to be times when you have a bad day. I was a big sports guy growing up, and there's certain times you meet sports stars, and they're less than nice. As a matter of fact, one of them happened with me with Mickey Mantle.
Okay.
Biggest name in baseball ever. I go up to him, and I think he was drunk or pissed off. Maybe he lost some money or something. And I said, "Real? I'm 17 years old." And I was like about 300 pounds when I was 17.
Right.
I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Mantle. Can I have your autograph? My father was a huge fan of yours." And he looks at me and goes, "Get the fuck away from me, kid." Now,
that would never happen with me.
I'm looking at it as a 17-year-old kid.
That's terrible.
I'm like, "You're awful." After that, I had Mickey Mantle autographs. I tore them up.
I don't blame you.
But I'm looking back on it as an adult. And maybe Mickey was just having a bad day.
Yeah, but to talk to a 17-year-old kid
like
that.
I don't. You know
no
what?
way. I don't think John would
Bobby
ever do
Mercer,
that.
I told you, and I spoke to his son a couple of times. What a nice guy. The father was my brother's hero as a ball, but we chased him. He stopped. He went out of his way, talked to us, patted us on the head, told us, "I'll give you balls."
I mean, you're talking about kids.
What a gentleman. And his son is the same way. And because the father's that way, the son became that way. And just really nice, down to earth, humble. Yeah. I mean, an incredible human being, really. And as a kid, you idolize these guys. So there is no excuse, because no matter where we are, people stop me, like you said, everywhere. And just the other day in a rest area. So when they stop you, sometimes you're not in a good mood.
No.
But you're still a gentleman to them, or whether they're kids, they're women, men. And you got to humble yourself and appreciate they're even asking you.
That's what I'm saying. So you know what else? When they're drunk.
Yeah.
He was
start putting
drunk.
your arms around you. I'm like, whoa.
This is pre-liver replacement Mickey Mantle, just so everybody knows. He was hitting it hard.
Well, you might have been drinking.
But you're still a 17-year-old kid. Right. But I don't like when I'm out, especially also with all this stuff going on, I'm always like afraid to touch each other. They'll come right over. I'm standing like with a gentleman, a friend of mine, right? And he's like in the background. He don't want anything to do with it. And these people come right up, guys, put their arm around me like they know you. And that's
celebrities
cute.
don't catch COVID.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I'm like, whoa. And he goes, can I take a picture? And my friend just said, and the best is he hands his phone to my friend, and the guy like wants to take the phone and hit him with it, you know, because the way he did it. If he would have walked up nice and just said, listen, can I take a picture? But he just pushed the guy aside, put his arm around me and goes, and put his face by mine. I'm like, oh, he's sweaty and he's drunk, you know? So that can happen too. But I was still nice.
But they should be nice then, because actually, look at the makeup on you. Looks good. Drew, why didn't I get any makeup?
I love it.
Now I know why he's getting a lot of attention lately.
Love it.
I don't sit in front of a sun lamp. You know, I don't sit in front of a sun lamp.
This doesn't see any sun anymore.
He's great. I walk into this studio. All of a sudden, I got to wear nice clothes because I got to do
he's
something.
He's always been
next
a sharp dresser.
Right, he's a sharp dresser. I feel, you know, a little weak over here. I got makeup on. I mean, what are you turning me?
You're doing good.
You're turning me. Bro, is this all his years in prison?
He's doing good.
Kim, he's 6'3". He's jacked up.
He's jacked.
I got to do something to fight back a little bit.
Yes,
because I can't fight him physically. I don't want to get beat up in here.
Listen, I feel very safe here. Yeah. John on one side, you on the other. I'm very safe. I feel good.
Well, that was my conversation with Kim yesterday. Hey, look, I'm going to come pick you up. I don't know you from anybody. Yeah. I was like, you know, I'm a retired police officer. If that helps at all, because again, you don't know who you're getting.
Well, I still wouldn't have said yes. Like, I would have definitely checked things out. And of course, John texted me right away and said, my friend's going to be calling you, because anyone could say that.
There's another guy I do shows with. He was a police officer too, Mike Dowd.
Okay. And Mike was in the pool that day.
Oh yes, he was.
He was telling us, and then I saw his show.
I forgot.
Right after that, I saw the show. I was like, oh my God, that's the guy, Mike.
Now I would have to send Kevin to go with him to bodyguard you from Mike.
Oh my God, exactly. Yeah. If you told me Mike was coming, I'd be like, I don't know, maybe we should take it over.
Right, Mike?
He's a crazy dude.
I love him. I love him to death. But it is like talking to a tornado. It really is.
Listen, then when I saw the show, the show that they did on, it was great.
The 7-5?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I don't like to fly. You know that, right?
Neither do I.
Oh, yeah.
And you know this story. So he's flying in this week to see me.
Okay.
And he was supposed to be on some of the shows. And he gets on the plane, and they said they're having mechanical trouble to get off. Now, he knows I don't like flying. I says to him, I text him, I says, ask him what's wrong. So he says, something with the cabin, this and that. And 2 hours later, they fix it. And he gets back on the plane. And I'm like, you're crazy getting on that plane. But then when they're flying over, they're having trouble and they got to turn around. And he goes, we're not coming in.
I'd freak out.
I said the same thing.
Freak out.
I says, how did you get back? No. But I don't want to scare him and say, are you fucking nuts?
Right.
Now they're having trouble and they got to go back on an emergency landing. So now you got
and you're still on this plane. You can't get off and you don't know what's really wrong.
He's so crazy. He didn't bat an eye. He didn't care.
No.
He just laughed. He goes, yeah, it's all right. And I didn't want to keep writing something to
because
to
you
worry
didn't want
him.
to jinx him.
But you wouldn't worry him anyway because he's that crazy. He didn't care.
He's too much. He was a pistol. We had a good time that day.
With my feet on the ground, there's not much in this world that I'm afraid of.
Right.
Okay. With my feet on the ground, when we flew back from Florida, there was a bad snowstorm.
It's a rocky flight from Florida,
January. 25-mile-an-hour winds flying into Philly. So I'm always in the market for a new watch. I know you're a sharp dresser. What do you think about those Vinceros that are our sponsors? Oh, you got one.
I got it right here.
That's pretty sharp.
And I got the glasses too.
That's pretty sharp. You know what? Let's see if it fits you. You might have lost this one, bro. Yeah, this is mine. I
got big wrists.
You know what? That's nice. I'm going to keep this one.
Sharp, right?
That is sharp.
So are the glasses. We are so pumped to introduce some new friends of ours, Vincero Collective. If you don't know Vincero yet, they're a premium lifestyle brand in San Diego carrying watches, sunglasses, and much more. Perfect for men, women of any style. Creating exceptionally crafted, ethically made products for today's most ambitious people. Modern pieces that elevate your look and stand the test of time.
Vincero is committed to doing things well or not at all. They believe in constant commitment to improvement and make products for those who do too. Known for their process, Vincero designs everything in-house, sources their own material, introduces in small batches, and ships it right to you.
So if you're looking for the perfect accessory to help elevate your style, check out Vincero at our link, www.vincerocollective.com/elite to see some of my favorite picks.
15% off applied on entire order, only for a limited time, and we cover all shipping costs. Promo code ELITE. Go to VINCERO collective.com/elite.
Oh my God.
I thought I was going to ship my
I drive back and forth. They're all flying. I drive. I'll meet you on the other side. I'm going to California next week. I got a couple of TV shows to do. And everybody's like, how you going? I said, I'm really contemplating a train. But you got to get off and on the trains.
The flight there is good.
Yeah.
Flight coming home is rocky.
Yeah.
I did botched. I had to go there I was filming Real Housewives.
Right.
And I was doing botched at the same time. So when you do botched, you have to go there 4 times.
So botched, explain what botched is.
Okay, well, botched is the show with these two great doctors in California. And they called me up because I asked the producer after, why'd you call me? What'd you think? She goes, no, we didn't think that you even had surgery. You're a badass mofo, which used the words. Right. I go, really? That's what you think of me? She said, yeah, okay. So they said, did you ever have plastic surgery? I said, yeah, we talked about it. Is there anything wrong? I go, I think there's something wrong. It was my right breast at the time. They're like, no, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong.
You want us to check it?
Yeah, well, it's good now.
I can volunteer.
Listen, John,
Kim, we're friends, but I'm still...
Listen, the best Dr. Dubrow is the best doctor on the planet. So I send him the pictures, and I said, no, there's really something wrong. So they said, okay, come out. Either way, I was doing the show because, I was the celebrity from Housewives, and I was going to be their premiere. The guy really saved my life. There was really something crazy going on. But so I'm filming that show. This is another reason why I'm writing this book the way I'm writing it, almost to tell women, like, I'm going to be like, I don't know, less of a Bengali type person to give people advice because I take this test. You have to take this psych test besides when you do all the physical things. So I was out there 4 times in 3 months. The flight there is great. Flight back is terrible. Now, I take this 500 questionnaire and it takes 2 hours. They give you water. They give you snacks. I go in front of it.
Psych test? It's called an MMPI.
Right. Now I get in front of the psychiatrist. This is what he says. He goes, I don't know if you're going to find this to be a little interesting. He goes, I've never seen this before. I said, I don't think I'm going to be surprised. He goes, you have answered every question like a man. You have a man's brain. You think like a man, every single question. So who better to give women advice than me, who's a woman who thinks like a man? So that's going to be part of the book.
That's why your son's still afraid of you.
Listen, let me tell you
something.
By
the way, how is he?
Listen, oh my God, pain in the neck, but he's good.
They're all
good.
Yeah.
So
he's a good kid.
He is. He turned out to be a good kid.
Yeah. On those psychological tests,
yes.
So more than likely it was the MMPI. That's the same one they give.
It's like 500 questions, and you have to put like the paper underneath because
correct.
You're right.
So they do that to look for consistency. Right. Psychologically, because they'll ask you the same question on question 30
correct.
As they will on question 50. My police chief used to use them. He used to use them as punishment all the time. You go in there after working at midnight doing a 500 question Scantron.
Because if you miss one, you have to go back and start, from the beginning.
All they're looking for is honesty. Like question 20 will be do you like reading books or watching porn?
Right.
And then
they also want to know if you're crazy because they're operating on you.
Right, of course, and they used to do psychological tests for like gender reassignment surgery,
right.
Which that they did that, and a lot of people weren't able to do it because of those.
Right.
But so then they'll ask that same question at question 400.
Way.
Do you like watching porn or reading books? They'll just flip it.
Right.
And again, they're looking for that consistency.
Right.
But with plastic surgery, because there are certain people that just go crazy.
They're obsessed with it.
With that plastic surgery.
Right. Obsessed with it.
You look at some of these old actors. My favorite actress in the world is Helen Mirren. Now, Helen Mirren is 70-something years old. I think she's the most beautiful actress.
She really is. Very demure.
And if she's had any work...
You can't tell.
I
don't think she did.
It's okay to be 70 years old. It's okay to age gracefully.
Well, in what's going on now, these girls are out of control. They're starting this stuff at 20 years old. Even 16, they're getting their lips. I'm like, whoa. Wait a little while, but listen, you got the Kardashians, you have all the filters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These people are using filters. They don't really honestly look like that in person. But
as Katia pointed out to me, Katia Santiago.
You see these filters, you think their bodies are perfect. You think this, and so they try to, it's unattainable. You can't.
They're doing this nutty thing now with their butts, where it looks like there's a football or something.
It's insane.
I don't like the way it looks at all.
I call it diaper ass.
I don't like the way it looks.
It's terrible.
I don't like it.
And who wants to, they put the implants? Who wants to sit on implants? You got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Well, it's really a body dysmorphia issue.
It really is. It really is.
Be happy. The good thing about thinking like a man, and I know this because I used to be a man until I was wearing makeup.
I love it.
We're okay with ourselves. We get to a point where like, hey, this is me. And unfortunately, with the certain things that women have to look at every day, the magazines and stuff, it's very difficult.
It's unattainable. It really is, and it puts a lot of pressure.
Men are weaker than women. I really mean.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I think women have the advantage over men. If you have a relationship, and we're going to do a show on this actually.
Yeah, I want to be a part of that show.
A man and a woman's relationship, where they're married long term, if they break up, the woman can go out, put her hair up, put on a sexy outfit and go meet somebody in a second.
I agree.
It's who she chooses to meet.
Right.
A man could go out, get dressed, and it's very difficult to run into that woman that's going to give you that.
That's going to replace what, exactly.
And replace, exactly.
I agree.
So I think that woman, besides that, I think physically, women are stronger. I'm not talking about lifting weights or fighting.
Yeah,
I'm talking about women have babies.
Right, exactly.
Women are tougher when they're sick,
yes.
whether it's an illness or something.
Yeah, guys
Men,
like to be
I'm like a little bitch if you're sick. So, I don't like being sick. I don't think anybody does.
If we were giving birth, there's only one place it's coming out of, and the birth rate would be maybe like 1 a year. And C-section would be mandatory.
I believe that.
So,
but listen, I had one and I was done. I'm like, this ain't happening ever again. And my doctor, he said, you have to go natural. You have to feel the pain. I'm like, I'm in Ridgewood, New Jersey. I used to, Vietnam, I was a doctor. They used to have them in the past. Well, I'm in Ridgewood. Like, are you kidding me? I thought I wasn't going to have to feel the pain. I'm not in Vietnam. Exactly. And he's like, no, you got to feel the pain to push. Well, that was the end. That was it. Like, that's it. One and done. I'm very happy. And the one I have, that was enough. Yeah. That was it. That was enough. That was good.
My mother always said if I was her first, I'd be the last.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
But I was the second. So, but how do you when you go out and speak to people? Again, thinking like a man, do you ever teach them, hey, this is me, I'm okay with it? Because it seems like you're very okay with yourself personally.
Yes, and I do a little tough love. I did do some inspirational speaking for a while. It's I was with someone for 13 years who passed away. And so the first time I spoke, when I had to say my story, I broke down a little bit, because I was like, wow, this really happened. When you say it and you're speaking it, you just can't believe that you've gone through this. And then since then, I can, I do inspirational speaking all the time. They want me to be a life coach for Divorce Dynasty. Because I'm tough. Like, these women carry on over nonsense. Listen, if he doesn't want you and he wants someone else, let's start with that. Don't let the door, who wants somebody who doesn't want you? And this is the way I talk to them. They're like, meanwhile, they have millions of dollars. Other people are struggling with 3 or 4 kids with no money. They have to stay for whatever reason. You can do whatever you want with your life. So this is the kind of talk I talk. And they're like, wow, they're a little shocked. But that's the way I really feel. But I'm not saying anything.
So you don't know. Her mom just passed away, and condolences.
Thank you.
She was such a good woman. So sweet, strong,
very
funny, nice.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you're getting a lot of this from.
Definitely.
So, and when I heard the news, she had a great life and left a mark. Even when I first met her, and I was like, wow, this woman's really
beautiful too, right?
Yeah, well, beautiful,
stunningly beautiful, right till the day that she passed.
And always smiling.
Always smile. Love Jill.
I gotta say,
I have a picture of you signing her book.
Oh,
your book when you did a book signing at Posh.
At Posh. Yeah.
At Posh. Yeah. She was crazy about John. Because listen, you were around a lot back then.
Yeah. I was.
You were around a lot. So she was crazy about him. Yeah. But I do get that from my mom, and we kind of followed Sue, her second husband, who I'm writing my book, was involved. Okay, he was with the Gambino family. And then my first husband was involved with the Genovese family. And we both had the same problem. We both wanted a divorce. It was our choice, is what we wanted. And you had to go for permission, So, but I'm like, you would think I would have learned my lesson from the first one.
Wait, hold on a second. You have to go permission you have to ask the bosses?
Well,
in my situation and my mother's.
For who they were involved with. Listen, each situation's different like anything else, but you're going back some years also.
Correct.
With her involvement and who she was involved with. And she wasn't involved with low-level guys. So, nobody wants... at the time when Gotti was around, and I go back to Gotti again, when his son-in-law was having issues, he had to go to him and talk to him about the situation. And he wasn't happy at all with it. So just depending on who it is and what the situation is, are you going to be able to walk away cleanly like that?
I don't think I've ever known that about the Mafia, that you had to ask their permission. But thinking about it logically, it actually makes sense. Your wife,
because the wife might know certain things.
She knows things. Yeah.
So my mother went to his boss, and she just said, you know me. I'm a stand-up woman. I can't live with this. I just can't live. She had kind of a nervous breakdown when she found out exactly what he did. And, she just couldn't handle it. And she says, I'm a good person. It's not going well. He's like moody, this and that, whatever she said to him. His wife's name was Dottie, and she had red hair and blue eyes. My mother's name was Dottie, and he had a soft spot in his heart for my mom. So he was like, yeah, you know, it's fine, you can go. And she goes back home, and the husband's there, and the phone rings, and it's the boss, and he said, you have to leave. And now Butchie was a tough dude. He's like, you have to leave, and you have to leave her alone. And he was not happy about it because this guy was like a son to him, you know? Right. And he's telling him, you have to leave the home. And he did. He wasn't thrilled about it. Things happened after that, but he left. And my mother had the okay to leave because he was the type of guy that you wouldn't have seen my mother after this. You know, it was just going to happen because that's the way he felt about it. He was obsessed with it.
You're going to talk about this in your book.
Yes.
Correct. And give us the name of the book again.
My Life with the Big Boys.
My Life with the Big Boys.
My Life with the Big Boys.
It's a great title.
It's a great title. Really because you remember when I said to Joe Gorgai, play with the big boys?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what got me my biggest contract.
Yeah.
But you're doing all. It seems like life after the Housewives has been still picking up. Do you attribute that all to the work on the Housewives?
Absolutely. Listen, they gave me a platform. They gave my business a platform. Bravo was great to me. Andy Cohen was great to me. People say to me all the time, but why didn't he make you a housewife? He says he doesn't see me as a housewife. He goes, Kim, I don't see you as a housewife. I'm really not housewife. I'm not.
Yeah, but you should be in that.
You're right.
Should still be in
be
that
on the
series.
Show.
And not because we're friends, but you were a major part of that. And everybody
as a friend,
watched
as to what I was.
Because you were in it.
Yeah.
You had a presence, whether
Thank
you know,
you.
and that they need to promote
1,000%, especially now.
So we're going to give them an offer they can't refuse.
Absolutely. I love it, John. No, I would go back in a second because it was so good for me. I do cameos now. One of the top 10 people with cameos. I still have my website. I'm semi-retired. I closed my businesses during COVID. I'm writing the book because of this. A lot of it will be inside stories in the housewife. So, I have very good memories of the show. And I did it for I think 7 seasons. So, it's
so
all
you
good.
have to team up with me in my new product line because I'm coming out with a skincare line.
Oh, okay. I would love that.
And we will definitely have to talk about.
You're gonna make me wear that too?
Yeah, and he's gonna be wearing that too. Besides our baseball bats.
Oh my God, I love it.
We're branching out. We just came out.
Is that cigars? Baseball
so it's Belladama cigars.
And I saw some kind of watch or something. I love watches.
Vincero.
I love to see.
Vincero you like the glasses?
I love them. No, they're great.
And I actually, when I tell people I wouldn't be wearing them all the time.
If you didn't like them, I know
I didn't like them.
I know you wouldn't.
And the watches I always wear. I mean, today I have a Rolex, but usually I have the Vincero watch on too.
Fabulous.
So I switch them.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
But they help John out, and one of these days, I guess I get his hand-me-downs or something like the cigars. We're coming out with the Elite cigar line soon. But here you can go Belladama cigars, get Elite 10, and get 10% off.
That's fantastic.
But they love him. They love him because he's sharp dressed. He wears the stuff well, and he's a good ambassador for their product.
Right. No, that's great. And I know John would never promote something he doesn't like. I just know it, just like I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I would definitely try the skincare.
Yeah.
And we'll do some before and afters. I'm very much into skincare. Like I said, I don't lay in the sun. But yeah, so they I.
So you're saying I need help? Is that what you're trying to tell? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Good, and I think
for that too, we have Better Health. There's one of our sponsors. So.
What is that?
Better Health is a therapist line that you can, where it's really convenient because I use it.
Okay.
You just call up, get on the phone. If you're a little depressed, you're a little anxious, call up. So they're one of our sponsors too. So
that's what all therapists are doing now anyway. Yeah. So this one you can pick and choose which one fits best.
Well, even physical doctors now, they're asking you to go virtual. So because of whatever reason, not that I'm.
It's easier for them now. It's still like I said, we have to get through this whole COVID stuff.
Yeah.
Once that's done, hopefully it goes away. Yeah. But anyway, so no, I'm going to eventually, because of all this, be a life coach, just like what you're talking about, the therapy. Yeah. I'm giving all this information away for free. Like I tell my girlfriends all the time, pretty soon I'm going to be 150 to 200 an hour. You're getting it for free because you're my friend. And we laugh because, it always helped my friends out. But I'm telling you, every time I give them advice, if they listen, because, some people are gabados, they want to listen. If they listen, they'll do good. They'll do good, especially when it comes to a guy.
We had a mutual friend I talked to the other day, and he left me a message, Al.
Al Zaccone.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He's always saying say hello to you if I see you or talk to you. So
he's helped me out a lot. Yeah. He came to my mom's house.
I know
he passed,
did. He's a great guy.
Good guy. He's always looking to help.
Yeah.
He's had a rough couple, couple years.
Yeah, well, he had the one son that just passed.
Yeah.
And I go see his other son, so
the one that sings.
I went to a Sinatra night.
You did.
Frankie Valli's brother was there also
what
singing.
is he?
Bobby Valley, yeah.
I didn't even know he had
How's Frankie doing? Because last I heard...
He was very sick.
Very sick. Is he okay now? Do we know?
At that time, he got through it. I don't know how he's doing now.
I love Frankie Valli.
That man's like 87 years old.
But you should see him perform.
Yeah.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
I went to the Prue Center, I guess last September maybe I saw him.
Yeah, he was great.
80-something years old. He sounds beautiful.
Yeah. I haven't seen... I mean, I met Frankie originally in the 80s, so it's like, close to 40 years.
I'm 47 years old. I'm going...
Frankie Valli when I was a young kid. That's another thing that my stepfather did. He got me pictures with Frank Sinatra, Diana Ross and the Supremes. This is a cute story that's going to be in the book. Diana Ross and the Supremes. She's with the Supremes, the original Supremes. They're at the Copacabana. I'm with my mother and Butchie and his boss, Joe Paterno, and his son, Anthony, and the Dottie, 2 Dotties, red hair, blue eyes. So they go to the owner of whatever it was of the Copa, says, we need you to take a picture with the 2 kids. I don't take pictures. He goes, you're going to take this one. And I have it. I have it in my bedroom. Wow. The picture of me and Anthony Paterno with Diana Ross in the Supremes. Because they're like, you're taking this. And what you see is like we're in the room and you see Butchie's face leaning in like this to make sure they took the picture. It's wild. So I have receipts.
You got to get us a copy of that if you don't put it in your book because we'll put it up.
I would love, I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to you today.
Great.
So she was like, I don't take pictures. You're going to take this one. That just goes to show, I mean, these were big dudes. If they said something, you were going to do it.
They had the juice.
They had the juice.
Right.
And we had the front table. It was great. Yeah.
But it sounds like you got the juice now.
Well, listen, I don't use my juice unless I absolutely have to.
The question is the juice worth the squeeze?
Well, that's what I'm saying, So if I don't ask for favors unless I really think I need one. And I don't want them to go too far, but maybe a nice little talk here and there, that helps.
Yeah.
That helps. Yeah.
So where can we find you? I know you're on Instagram because we recently became friends.
Yes. And I just tagged you in the picture.
Yes.
So I'm all about my Instagram now because what they're doing now with books, just so you know, also because you're an author, John, you can sell the books right from your Instagram. So now my book won't be ready for about another year. We just started it. But I'm building. I never was like a big Instagram girl. I have 19,400 right now, 19,004. I need to build that stuff up because I want to be an ambassador for different things, So I want everyone to, and I do all my own social media. I won't let anyone touch it. It's Kim D Posh, Posche, and I still have my website because I don't have my stores. Posh by Kim D, and my Facebook I keep a little bit more private, even though. I accept. I think I have 5,000 Facebook people, but the Instagram is what I want people to follow me. And you can get me on Cameo too.
On Cameo?
Oh, you are on Cameo.
I'm on Cameo. I'm one of the top 10 people on Cameo.
Why can't you?
Really?
Why don't you do Cameo?
I am on Cameo.
You are on Cameo?
Yeah, Cameo's fine.
Yeah.
Cameo's fine. I just did 5 the other day, like happy anniversary.
I think it's on my website that I'm on Cameo.
Yeah,
are you
on Instagram? Because I didn't.
Yeah, I'm on True.
We have to follow each other.
John Alite.
Okay, I'll follow you today.
Yeah.
I'll follow you.
That's what I guess you got to watch out when you get to that level. People trying to steal your name for. I know there's about 10 of them out there with you.
I got 20-something.
When I tagged you,
fake
he had to
accounts
show me which one it was because there was like 5 or 6.
But I'm blue checked and verified
I saw that.
now. So
I saw that.
I have about I don't remember, but I got about 275, 280, I think.
Beautiful.
Thousands
on Instagram or
on Instagram.
That's fantastic, John.
And Facebook, I've been hacked so many times too. So
it's crazy.
The problem is, unless you're verified, they hack you. They got
that's
people,
right.
Coming in as you and. Even myself, before I didn't know how to control this stuff, so I have people that are helping me and are involved on all these sites. And
you need that. When you have that many Instagram followers, you need to have help.
So, and I try to answer people, especially the people that are asking for help with, with different things. And I travel now so much out of the country. So,
what are you doing in LA? The sinuses with this weather.
I'm doing a podcast and I'm doing a television show there.
Fantastic.
And then I'm going to Texas after that, and I'm doing some lectures there at different organizations. And then Mexico, I'm finishing a weekend of filming for Nordic Narcos.
Fantastic.
So that'll be out, I think, April.
That's great. And your lectures, I have to hear one of those lectures.
Yeah, well, I do the circuit. I mean, I did, and I did Hack and Sack.
Right.
With Jimmy, who's the sergeant over there years ago. He got me in over there. And I started working with them, Montgomery and Philly, Ocean County. I've done Georgian College and Ocean County College and Rowan Keene.
Fantastic.
I did them all. So,
And how long does that last? Like when you talk, how long do you talk for?
Depending. Like I went to Ocean County the last time with the chief of police, and I did about an hour and 15 minutes with his students, and then I went to another friend of his that was a detective, and I did about an hour with them, and then I went to an academy
That's
and talked to some
fantastic.
young cadets that were coming in. So
good for
it
you.
depends on what the day is. The one I'm doing in Texas should be about 600 people. So
Wow.
The guy who should be most standoffish against police is actually one of the most pro-police people I've ever met in my life.
That's wonderful.
He's all about promoting their life of service, whether it's vets, police, firemen.
Yes.
I've seen him do it. It's really a nice thing to see.
Especially in
somebody
this
come
day
full
and age
circle.
with what's going on.
well, the only thing is now what's going on
It's
is,
terrible.
and I'm starting to try to, in a soft manner, tell some of these police officers that they need to make the choice between the other officers and take their back, which I don't see a lot of them not taking the back of other officers where they should, and also guarding the Constitution
1,000%.
over whoever's demanding them to go after the people instead of protect the people. So they have a constitutional right as Americans first before they have a job, in my opinion.
I agree.
And they need to stand with their other officers, first responders, fire department, and this is my opinion.
I agree with you.
They should rethink when they're chasing after kids with mandates and that are eating in a Burger King or something, or single mothers, and this is not what they're paid for. This is the reason why sometimes the public goes against them, and I'm trying to.
My son says the same thing. See, my son says the same thing that you say.
Yeah.
You know, he's all about police officers, but he says the same thing. He goes, sometimes you get a couple of them that do one wrong thing, and then the whole town or all the kids in the area turn against them, and it's not good. It's not good. So,
well, a lot of these people, I'm sorry, that are defunding them are coming back now and telling them to go chase after. I'm against it. Exactly what's going on in Canada. It's a peaceful protest.
Absolutely.
We're not all blind. We see what went on with the cities being burnt down with BLM here and there.
Yeah, they get away with whatever they want.
And this isn't a black
thing. Yeah, terrible.
A black thing, brown, color, I don't care. There's black lives. Our friends are mixed, black, Spanish, Indian, like I always say. This is not about black. This
I've never
is a
seen
Marxist
color.
group.
My son, I didn't raise my son like that. We don't see color.
$60 million disappeared.
They all bought big houses,
And
all
when-
the heads,
when
and
they
now there's no
started-
head of the BLM. Now there's no head.
Right,
well,
they just went to jail.
Well, I want to know where the $60 million is because I
where
want
is
to
it?
give it to the inner city kids from my
That's
neighborhoods.
right. That's where it should go. And how about Chicago? How about what's going on in Chicago? Why aren't they there helping these kids? Why aren't they there? These babies are getting shot left and right. This makes me crazy. It makes me nuts.
We're all judged by our lowest common denominator.
Correct.
All right, so you are a Real Housewife of New Jersey castmate. All right, and maybe somebody out there met one of your castmates and they were a real jerk to them.
Yep.
All of a sudden, all the women are bitches.
It's true.
All right. One person from Albania is bad. All Albanians are bad, and that's the problem with organizations like this. You got Black Lives Matter. It's not an organic organization.
No.
You had say the Black Panthers. I'm not a big fan of the Black Panthers, but they were an organic organization, raised from a small group of people and raised. This was manufactured.
This is manufactured.
Well, anything that and I'm going to say anything that causes division, I'm against.
Me too.
Anybody that causes people to join together, no matter what their color, creed is, and religion, I'm for.
Me too.
So anything that's causing division, I'm always going to say the same thing. I'm against it.
I don't remember there being division, and I don't mean to be mean, and I'm not saying what political party I'm with, but everyone knows one. But when they all know. But when Barack Obama came in, who's half black, half white, that's when the division started. I'm sorry, that's when I saw it.
That's
when I saw it.
Kim, you got Joy Reid that I talk about all the time.
Brutal.
She's black privilege. She went to Harvard.
She went to Harvard.
So that's black privilege. So I'm not going to tell a white kid that doesn't have anything to hate her because she's black privilege. So it's individual and it's character, just like Martin Luther King Jr. said. And we got to stick to that. Don't let anybody divide us. We're fools when we let people divide us.
It's true. I'm in 100% agreement with that.
Kim, thank you so much for coming and sitting down with us today. I just met you, but I think you're a doll.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm looking forward to other conversations with you.
Absolutely.
Your relationship with John, I promise not to hold that against you. Even though he did break my chops today about wearing makeup, I'm not happy with it.
I know, you're looking good, though.
I'm looking good.
Because he got makeup
on. You got the movie star look now, like John.
So we're going to look out for you. You were Kim D. Posh on Instagram.
Yep, on Instagram. Follow me.
And your book's coming out, My Life with the Big Boys.
Yes, and I want to do a book signing. Maybe me and John could do one together.
Absolutely, I'll be the bodyguard.
That would be fun, John.
We're going to do that together. We're going to do some skincare products together.
I love that.
And for the people that don't know us, find us on johnalite.com website. Check out our baseball bats that everybody knows about. The cigars, Bella Cigars. There will be an Alite line coming out. Photos and everything else on our website. Where we're doing lectures, where we're appearing, next TV shows. Everything's up there. Kev, anything else to add to that?
No, I just thank you all very much for sitting down.
Thank you.
We had a great conversation. It was a great ride in there. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Alite Show. Look for us next time. We got some great guests coming.
God bless America.
Yes.